You probably have ADHD. And what does this mean? It means your brain does not produce sufficient dopamine in order to do the task that you want to do. Dopamine is this little chemical that gets you to do stuff. Now, there's 3 types of ADHD. The first one is one that you're born with. It's, I'd say, type 1 ADHD. It means your receptors need more dopamine in order to get triggered to do the thing. Type 2 is essentially a response to trauma. It's a tightening up. When the world is too stimulatory, you downregulate everything to be a protective mechanism, but it does mean that you now need more excitement to do stuff. Type 3 is similar to type 2, but it's more reversible. This is a dopamine desensitization based on your activity. And the brain desensitizes things because essentially they're toxic. Dopamine is toxic, and so it wants to protect itself from it. So if you get too much, it just tightens up the receptors, so there's less damage done to them, essentially. And so if you're playing lots of video games, if you're doing lots of exciting things, your brain will tighten up to prevent the damage, which means you need even more dopamine, even more stimulation to do the thing. And this one's reversible. Now, why is it that you shouldn't beat yourself up for not being able to do the stuff you want to do? Well, I'll share a study. It's a kind of crazy study, a study that the scientists probably shouldn't have done, but there's a lot of science that probably shouldn't have been done, but we gained some really interesting information from it. They got a rat or a mouse, whatever you'd like, and they essentially cut out its dopamine. Kind of wild. And they gave it some cheese to eat, and it ate the cheese, it ate the biscuit, nom, 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 nom. It was happy, chill, it ate it was fine. They then moved the food 2 inches from its face, and it starved because it didn't have the dopamine to get up or just shuffle literally 2 inches to feed itself. Maybe you're there. Maybe you're completely burnt out and you're unable to do the thing. Don't beat yourself up. It's literally a natural protective mechanism. Here's some strategies to help you out. First of all, make the task smaller. Perhaps writing that essay, perhaps finishing that assignment, perhaps training, whatever it is, shorten it. Make it 1 page. Maybe that's too much. Make it a sentence. Perhaps that's even too much. Maybe it's just open the book. It doesn't matter. Get that first step in, because the first step's the most difficult. And then you'll probably do more. And it builds. It's a momentum thing. However, there is a trap. And the trap is the second technique. I've found that a lot of the people that I've worked with in the ADHD space have found is that they can maybe do the task, but they feel disappointed because it took them much longer than they had expected it to take. And so what you do is you negatively reinforce, you put bad vibes on doing the task because you punish yourself. I should have done this sooner. And that's not what we want, because then you don't enjoy doing the task. What you need to do is extend the length you're going to give yourself for doing the task, but way more than you think it's going to be. So let's say you think it's going to take you 5 minutes to write a couple sentences. Triple it, quadruple it. Give yourself half an hour to write 2 sentences. It might sound ridiculous, but this is a neurological strategy to start rewiring your brain so it becomes simple, becomes easy. It's ridiculous to assume that someone who hasn't ever run before to do a marathon or to sprint, that's silly. But yet we expect ourselves to be exceptional within very, very specific neurological chemical processes. Don't expect yourself of that. We're learning to walk here, and then we run. So double the length of time, triple the length of time that you think you should do that task, but that task itself is squeezed so small that it's You think, oh, this is ridiculous. Of course I can do this. That's your angle. That's the tease point to grow. And then you'll find if you do those two things, not only are you building the momentum, but you're feeling good about yourself because you start not only relating to someone who does the task, because you will likely finish that task within the time frame, but someone who does a little bit more. And then you start rewiring your brain. You start re-evaluating how you see yourself, and from there you start to change. That's the trick. That's the trick for ADHD, really. That and get more sleep than you think you need. And that's for another video. Stay easy. You're doing well. Peace out.